All right, big day for the retail sector right now with a sudden Supreme Court decision that caught a lot of people off guard, saying that no matter what business you do in any state or lack thereof, you have to pay taxes to that state. It was originally deemed to be damaging to all retailers. A lot of the online retailers have since come off a lot of their lows. But the implication for all of this with tech analyst Gene Munster. Gene, what do you think?
Well, I think it's this has been something that's been in the works for a long time. Right. Amazon has been talking about this day for several years. I remember back in 2013 doing work on that, and I want to try to quickly put into perspective what this means. It's a small positive for offline retailers because one of the advantages is about, for example, on Amazon, about half of the items that are purchased are not, sales tax is not collected. They come from third-party sellers. And so that's kind of a, call it a 5% price cut for shoppers to go online. Very obvious reason why this would be a positive for traditional brick and mortar. But the reason why it might not be as big of a positive for traditional brick and mortar is that price actually is not the #1 reason why people shop online. Convenience is the #1, and convenience is comprised of selection, finding that exact color of the thing that you're looking for, and second, the delivery, not having to go to a store. And so I think that this, I'm not surprised that the large internet retailers aren't trading down on this. It makes a ton of sense that this probably won't have a big impact on their business.
So in the case of an Amazon that's in 45 states and already handling, the state taxes for items that people buy on its site, it's not as big an issue, or how would you explain it?
I think the simplest way is to look at Amazon collectively. They've recently said that about half of the items that they sell are from third parties, and they typically don't collect sales tax from those third parties. But what we have seen over the past decade is that the percentage of states that have collected tax, they're called nexuses, but those states that have collected tax, or in other words, the percentage of items on Amazon that have collected tax has gone from about 10% 10 years ago to about 50% today. During that time, in the past 4 years specifically, the growth rate of Amazon has gone from the retail business from about 15% to about 25%. It's been steady over the last few years at 25%. In other words, is that as more states have collected taxes over the last several years, we have not seen an impact. Now, maybe the growth rate would have been even higher without those changes, but it's safe to say is that there's a meaningful share shift still going from offline to online, despite these changes in taxes.
So real quickly, Gene, if I wanted the big macro eye in the sky kind of a view of this, would this crimp retail spending or shoppers if heretofore, in a lot of cases, they've not been having to pay this tax, and in some cases now they will? In other words, you get to that final page online. Do you clear the sale and press send?
For the next year, there's going to be a slight headwind, call it a few percent headwind. But after a year, once people have kind of rationalized that there, in fact, is no way around these taxes, we get to a normal state again. So the answer is a slight headwind near term, but longer term, a year plus, I don't think this is going to change the dynamic.
Interesting. Gene, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.